Detroit after dark. Hey, Detroit after dark. Oh yeah, it's after dark. Oh yeah, it's after dark. Let go. Detroit after dark. Detroit after dark. Oh yeah, it's after dark. Oh yeah. One more time. Let Detroit after dark. Let go. Detroit after dark. Oh yeah, it's after dark. Oh yeah, what's good, y'all? Detroit after dark. What up, though? Shit, the only thing open up after 12 is a club and some lakes. And motherfuckers talking shit on YouTube. Shout out to everybody for coming through. This is Detroit After Dark. And go get off into some shit. I just thought I needed to talk about this shit real quick. Like I didn't know like if I wanted to do like an HHN or a Fuck the Government podcast. But I was like, it's after 12. And shit, let's just get into it. Start talking about it. Let's go. We got a 74-year-old rapid fire news. I know, right? Yo, man, we had a 74-year-old after losing all of her money in an online scam. After losing all her money in an online scam. What do you think this 74-year-old woman did after she lost all of her money? What do you think she did? Did she A, had a heart attack and just left this plane of existence? B, did she go to the authorities and be like, I got scammed by the internet, shunny boy? Or C, she watched the movie Set It Off and she got an idea. If you chose C, then you are correct. They say after losing all of her money to an online scam, 74-year-old woman of Ohio. Oh, yeah. She must have been listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony too while she was watching Set It Off. These are the days of our life. These are the days of our life. I've been smoking that choking and thugging it forever. I've been smoking that choking and thugging it forever. Forever. Bound, 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 bound. The bitch over there in Ohio. The bitch on East 1999, nigga just had to rob a fucking bank real quick. They say a manhunt for an individual. I have to light a blunt to this one. A manhunt of the individual who robbed an Ohio bank at gunpoint earlier this week ended with an arrest of a surprising suspect. Her name is Ann Mayers, 74 years old. Allegedly told investigators with the Fairlane Township Police Department, the FTPD, motherfucker, that she was a person who walked into an Aura Group Financial Credit Union bank and demanded their teller come up the bank's cash while brandishing a gun, according to the copy of the complaint obtained by Inside Edition. Body cam footage taken at the time of her arrest shows that it only took Mayers a few seconds to allegedly confess, and she immediately tells the arresting officers, I did whatever you're here for. The officers then asked Myers to be more specific, at which time the footage shows her saying the robbery. Police have now charged Myers with one count of aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon and one count of tampering with evidence, according to a copy of the arrest warrant obtained by Inside Edition Digital. The second charge stems from Myers' decision to toss her clothing out of the car while making her way home after the robbery, according to the complaint. God damn, you bitch, you so fucking late. If convicted, Myers could face up to 15 years in prison. In the end, Myers walked away with $500 from her bank heist, according to the police. The Septuagenarian the septuagenarian and currently in custody at the Butler County Jail and will stay there unless she can post $100,000 bail. Mayers has no criminal record, according to the police, who has said that she had decided to break the law after falling victim to an online scammer. That's what they want. They looking for the old gullible motherfuckers or some young gullible motherfucker, but like most motherfuckers already should know that everything is a goddamn scam, but these old people don't. And these young people ain't telling their grandparents or their uncles, aunties, or whatever to watch out for this shit. Everybody is, doing their own fucking thing. But I always tell motherfuckers, I'm like, yo, sis, ma, watch out for these scammers. But if they don't listen, that's on them. Real shit. Shouts out there about to coming through. Now look, it's a Sergeant Brandon McCroskey of the FTPD said after the arrest of Myers had recently been scammed by an individual claiming to need money for U.S. Customs. She also allegedly told family members about possibly robbing a bank in the week before the incident. It's like, man, I'm gonna fuck around and rob a bank, nigga. I just lost your money. And the family was like, oh, grandma, you talking crazy. But they didn't know that she was gonna actually do that shit for real. Like, grandma, when you started packing heat, you know what I'm saying? Those family members did not take Myers seriously. Thank you, because I wouldn't take her seriously. When she allegedly took them about her plan, um, Myers also owed her sister $5,000 after another friend $65,000 after the two women supplied her with loans. Oh shit! What up, though? What up, though? Man, no, man, that's my motherfucking that's the motherfucking guy like clothing. That's the motherfucking light body clothes. Meditation. But as I look at it more closely, man, that's a bullshit. Welcome to Detroit After Dark, my nigga. God damn, nigga. I can't show off the motherfucking gold chains made of light, my nigga. Man, I'm trying to be flashy and shit. But no. But no. Damn, I'm trying to get the light body activation picture going and shit, nigga. I thought I was doing something. I thought I was looking fucking cool. This shit ought to fuck up a nigga day. First Muhammad Ali Davis. What up, Dolo? Yeah, nigga, I was talking about this bitch that got scammed by the internet, dog, and she ended up robbing a fucking bank. This bitch ended up robbing the bank. Okay, late. All right, we gonna maybe leave this bitch and change my avatar. We gonna maybe leave this bitch and change my goddamn avatar, nigga. Like, shit, I was gonna pick the other one with the fro, but I'm bald headed as fuck. When I was gonna wait till my hair grow back a little bit. But it said Myers owed her sister 5,000 and she owed another friend 65,000. How you owing friends all this money? That's why she robbed that goddamn bank. Like whatever that scam was, like the fucking scam probably told the bitch, I'll get you $100,000. I'll probably get you $100,000, but no. It's say in that aspect, some may see her as a victim. Unfortunately, Anne chose to victimize several others in the bank by robbing it with the firearm as a remedy for her situation. It said McCroskey also said that Myers replaced the license plate of her car and removed a bumper sticker that would have made her vehicle easy to identify before committing the robbery. Yeah, nigga, this shit was prepaying like a motherfucker. All right, she is now in jail in her first court appearance and has applied for an indigent status, claiming that she cannot afford a lawyer for her defense. No shit. No public defender has been assigned to represent her either. Damn, that's grimy. And like this is her first offense too, so like they should let her to go with a slap on the wrist. She's 74 years old, but nigga, she came in that bitch like Queen Latifah, nigga. She came in that bitch like Queen Latifah, my nigga. Touch it, my daddy. Look at that. Oh, oh shit. What else we had? Man, we had some shit. Oh damn. I don't know what the fuck, man. I don't read about no Prince fucking Charles. Fucking Prince Charles. Hold on. Where's my other shit at? Oh yeah. A nigga shot a motherfucking woman in Baltimore. They said woman killed by ex-boyfriend in a workplace parking lot of Northern Virginia. About to get off into that. They say a man shot and killed his ex-girlfriend in a parking lot in Northern Virginia, and police arrested the suspect in Maryland after a short manhunt Friday evening, police said. They say the victim had a protective order against the suspect. She had a restraining order against the suspect, but the nigga still came by anyway, right? It say, but he showed up outside the medical office in Annandale, where she worked. The victim got into the car after work when the suspect arrived and boxed her in with his car. She called 911 and was talking to the dispatcher as things escalated. The dispatcher reported he got out the car and was staring at the victim. He then told her he was going to murk her, according to the dispatch. I'm going to kill you, bitch. She was shot while she was on the phone with the dispatcher as the officers were responding to the scene, and that suspect quickly left the area before our officers could get there. Fairfax County Police Lieutenant James Curry said using license plate readers, police tracked the suspect's white SUV. This nigga's on some motherfucking OJ shit, pull off in the white Bronco. Suspect white SUV into Maryland, where Prince George's County police stopped the vehicle in Oxon Hill neighborhood and took the suspect into custody. A gun was found in the SUV. The victim did nothing wrong, Curry said. Victim showed up. This is her place of employment. This is just sad, tragic case. That's what he said. The names of the victim, they don't say. It say a woman in her 30s and the suspect has not been released. They are both from Maryland, though. Now, shit, what I gotta say about that situation? Let's see. There's thousands of videos saying that these girls rather choose the bad boy over the good guy, or let's be more specific, because good and bad is a state of mind. She said she chose the drug dealer scammer over the 9-to-5 guy. So, question: should we feel a little sorry for this situation? The answer is yes and no. Yes, because it's a life and life is precious. No, because bitch, you chose the situation. Like, bitch, you put all the good niggas in the friend zone just to keep this guy, and you put a restraining order on this nigga. You know niggas don't motherfucking listen to restraining orders. Bitches don't even listen to restraining orders. You moved me 1,000 feet away from my house. What you doing over here? Nigga, you can't quit me. I'm pregnant with your baby. That ain't my baby. That's my baby right there. You keep my shit, bitch. Bitch, I got your bitch. You feel me? On some Friday, on some next Friday shit. So get the fuck out of here. Ain't nobody paying attention to no goddamn restraining order. Stop picking the bad guy, you dumb bitch. Like, goddamn. But no, we gonna chuck it up as what? Man, God, what the fuck is that word? Hold on, let me spark this butt up. Yeah. Motherfucking yeah, man, it's like goddamn, that's fucked up that the shit happened, but you should have knew the nigga was no good when you first got with him, but you want to be in your bad girl phase or whatever, and I guess shit, you have to face the consequences. Shit, nigga, it is what it is, man. Actions have consequences. It's like choosing like to be with someone on a relationship level or on a friendship level. It's like, like whatever happens after you say the word yes, it's on you. It's on you, bitch. You knew this nigga was fucking crazy. You knew this nigga was crazy. But no. See, like these bitches with all these nice ass jobs and all these nice degrees. Yeah, you claim to have a head on your shoulder, but you really truly fucking don't. But what makes me mad is that's because you got this fly ass education and this nice ass fucking job. You think you know more, or like you think you are more, but you still make the stupidest decisions ever. It's like, no, bitch, you show your intellect by who you're hanging around and by your actions. It's like, shit, bitch, who are you? Oh, this a dumb bitch. See, vice versa, like for the nigga that picks the dumb bitch, it's like it's the same shit. It's like bitch, it's on you. Hey nigga, it's on you when you say yes to these types of situations and you know it's bad. But bitch, I guess the dick was that good, huh? But niggas don't give a fuck about no goddamn restraining order. Females don't give a fuck about a restraining order. The goal is not to get with these type of people, but we see thousands of videos of these females saying that they rather choose the bad guy over the good guy. So, like, look, I can't feel sorry for you. My condolences, though, to you and to your family, but shit, you can't be like, oh, she was so nice and kind and sweet. No, she wasn't. Because you're judged by the company you keep, and you are the company you keep. And if your company is a whole bunch of no good motherfuckers, then guess what? You are no good motherfucker. And if you're not a no good motherfucker, eventually you will turn into that no good motherfucker due time. So, choose your company wisely, choose your mate wisely, and live happily ever fucking after. The end. Message. God, I wish I had that motherfucking clip. But y'all know this shit. Shit, nigga, this ain't motherfucking crazy. It's just crazy that these females are still getting into these situations. And I guess shit. the elder women ain't gonna tell them, like, stop getting with the abusive nigga. Yo, just like the elder men failed us young brothers, the elder women failed the young women. Simple as that. Our elders failed us. Now we got to be the ones to pick up all the goddamn pieces. I don't mind, but I'm going to rub it in your face. What else we got? Oh, yeah. We got, what the fuck is my shit up? Bear with me, y'all. Shouts out to everybody coming through. Shouts out to Lil Dunn. Shouts out to Loki. Everybody talking about Diddy and shit, and it's all leading towards Diddy is the new Epstein. Real shit. Like there's really nothing to really more to talk about Diddy. It's like they're coming out with a whole bunch of other shit, and it's really covering up the motherfucking shit that's supposed to really be talking about. Because all those tapes that was taken, I know it had important people on it, from businessmen to princes to high-ranking feds. You know what I'm saying? Now, since they got those tapes, now we just talk about all the black shit, all the Diddy and whoever that was black. They got some shit with Justin Bieber though. He white. Yeah, but where's that motherfucking shit at, man? All right, yeah, they talking about some politicians are motherfucking scared. Oh yeah, another chick was killed Sunday and shit. That was crazy. Freddie P, the nigga from Making the Band, talking about my talking point about the motherfucking Biggie situation. Freddie P think Biggie got something to do with it. Let's hear that. And then I'm gonna get off into the politicians talking about They fucking scared of the goddamn intelligence agency.
Biggie, what you think about that situation? Him getting killed. How you feel about the people that feel like he went to LA too soon and Diddy put him in that situation?
I think that was the dumbest shit ever. I think Diddy did it on purpose. And me knowing Puff, I know he did it on purpose. I think Puff sacrificed him, man. I know it sounds far fetched. I was one of the people that ain't believe he did it to Kim. So I get it, but when I look at that situation, it's like it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Nothing else makes sense. Like why? Like you're not cut like that. You a bitch. We all know you're a bitch. Those who really know you don't want no real drama. You doing that shit. He act like that now because the world's soft. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the Suge Knights, it ain't the gangsters out here no more. It's the controlled environments and slapping around little rods and shit like that. But Big Meech ain't out. You see what he did? Big Meech kill your best friend, you get him a deal. Like, he's a bitch. You get what I'm saying? That's not saying me disrespecting him, his actions. This is the definition of his actions. He's a bitch. I was there. I should have told you couldn't come out. You was scared. We had to put press on for you, Nick. Think online, go ask Breon. Nick, the Nick will be with Ross. Yeah, Nick. Oh man, listen, man. You think I'm lying? That Nick pussy, man. Nick pussy, man. When I mention Nick's name, Nick know what's up, B man. Nick know. You know what I'm saying? I rock with Nick. I got respect from Nick that terrify these niggas. I got respect from Nick to these niggas what they'll talk back to. I done stood in the face with gangsters who these niggas wouldn't even talk to. Me and these niggas in the room face to face, like whatever it is, who it is, what we finna do. I'm by myself. I go ask Jeezy about me the first time he seen me, nigga. I'm in LA standing downstairs by myself, 100 niggas deep. They're 100 deep down there, nigga. I see nigga out, woo, woo, woo. I asked 211, all the niggas gone, smoking my cigarette out there. I ain't moving. I walk in the crowd. I always been like that since I was 16. I go to the club, I walk through your crowd. Nigga, I'm not that. I gotta see everybody's face. I want to see your Timothy, nigga. You really living like me? You know what I'm saying?
So why do you think he sacrificed Biggie?
He a bitch. Somebody had to die, bro. He knew somebody was gonna die by it. It's just the art of war. I was deaf. I was a pop.
Die about what? That's the motherfucking shit. It's like, nigga, like, that's not an answer. That's an average answer that an NPC give. Why do you think Diddy sacrificed Biggie? Shit, I don't know. He had to go. Nigga, I still don't know. I can only fucking speculate. But if I was to guess, why would Diddy sacrifice Biggie? For the motherfucking catalog. That's one. Because like niggas are worth more dead than alive. And then if they use the media to perpetuate the greatness, it'll make the motherfucking price go up. So, and the second thing is also allegedly and speculation of shit, nigga, they was into that motherfucking satanic shit. But this nigga was like, somebody had to go. Go for what? Because me personally, man, nigga, I don't think Biggie had to die or Pac had to die. But I lean more towards Biggie not supposed to go, but Pac, on the other hand, got his hands in a whole bunch of other shit. Hashtag COINTELPRO. Nah, that nigga, yeah, he was probably definitely gonna go. He connected to too much shit. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. But that was an NPC answer. He at least could have just said what I said. But, like most motherfuckers be like, oh, shit, he sacrificed because he's rich, I guess.
I was deaf. I was a Pac fan. And I ain't gonna lie, my brother was a big fan. And still to this day, it's like that. But my thing is, you wouldn't hear me if it wasn't for Biggie. So I never take them little teenage conversations that I used to have. But back then, it was all Pac. It was everything that's against Pac. Pac taught me to rap. Pac taught me to write. just listening to him. Dear Mama taught me everything I needed to know to become an artist. I was listening to Dear Mama, and man, we were staying with our auntie at the time. We was in child services, so it's like secondhand treatment. Not saying my aunt treated us bad, but you know how it is. Like, we not her kid. You get what I'm saying? Like, but she doing what she can. So we in that bitch missing our mama and shit like that. And when I heard Dear Mama, it's just like I could picture everything from putting money in your mailbox. It motivated you to want to get up and get more. It was like it was a movie through words, man. And I had never seen that. I'm on the ground in a dark room, and I'm playing a song. I could picture houses. I could picture the mailbox. I could picture everything. That was I seen the video. I never did nothing. And I'm like, how the fuck he did that? And from that day on, like I always been like a fan of music, but from that day on, I think I was like 11 years old. I just went crazy. I have folders and folders. I used to just like to write. I love poetry. Like, I like to write.
What's good? Yep, this nigga talking about pocket shit and all that. Oh my God. Dear Mama changed my life. Dear Mama changed a lot of people's life. Not mine though. Real shit. Every time I heard Dear Mama, dog, it really made me mad. On some real shit. Why I make you mad, Hurricane? Because I ain't felt like that. My mama's on that motherfucking Reaganomics. So like that Dear Mama song, every time it came on, nigga, I just got mad. I just got angry. Nigga, real shit. I'm like, nigga, fuck Tupac. Fuck my mom. You know the fuck I've been through. Oh man, but hold on. Now we need to talk about motherfucking.
Hello, this is Russell.
What is this? Get closer. Yeah, I'm subscribed to a nigga named Jimmy Dore. You know, he an old guy, old comedian.
Now, Tucker made a lot of news in his conversation with Joe Rogan, which, like all conversations on Joe Rogan, was quite freewheeling. But
Good,
the thing
good.
that probably the most interesting thing he talked about was his contention that the people in Congress are terrified of the intelligence agencies, which Rogan was quite interested in. So let's take a look at what he said.
Members of Congress are terrified of the intel agencies. I'm not guessing at that. They've told me that, including people on the Intel Committee, including people who run the Intel Committee, the people whose job it is to oversee and keep in line these enormous secretive agencies whose budgets we can't even know. They're black budgets. They're racist. The parents, the agencies are the children. They're afraid of the agencies. That's not compatible with democracy. Democracy is a really simple system, even representative democracy like ours. The people rule. They do so through elections. They express their preference through voting. They send their people to the capital city to run the government on their behalf. Whenever you have unelected people who are not accountable to anyone making the biggest decisions, you don't have a democracy. You have something else, another system. I would call it a tyranny or whatever you want to call it. It's not a democracy. So that's like super obvious. It's playing out in front of everyone, and no one cares, and no one does anything about it. And I think the reason is because they're threatened. And if you look at the committee chairmen who allow this shit to happen year after year, they're all, and I don't know, people say, oh, they're compromised or being blackmailed or whatever. I don't have evidence of that, but I know them, and they all have things to hide. I know that for a fact. And so it's not a stretch of imagination to imagine that, you know, some committee chairman who's allowing warrantless spying on Americans to continue, or whatever abuse they're allowing, knowing fully or hiding the truth about UAPs, ignoring the UAP Disclosure Act of 2023. Why are they doing that? It's not impossible to imagine that some guy with a drinking problem or a weird sex life, and that's very common up there, that's why they're doing it. Because they don't want to be exposed. I don't have evidence of that. I don't have proof of that.
Right.
But that's not a crazy thing to assume that could be happening. And I said to somebody, a very powerful person, the other day in a conversation in my kitchen, an elected official, holds a really senior position, a very famous person. I was going crazy. I was so mad about all
What's
this
his
stuff.
name?
And about the warrantless spying and about the funding for these insane wars. And I said to the guy who serves in one of the legislative bodies, I got so mad my dogs were afraid. They're like, well, why are you yelling? Because I don't
What's
yell
his
enough.
name?
But I was like, all these people are controlled they're all, got weird sex lives and all these things are hiding and they're being blackmailed by the intel agencies. And he said, and I'm quoting, I know. I was like, okay, so at this point we're just sort of admitting that's real? Like, why do we allow that to continue?
Right. Now, the reason I put this at the top is I want you to think about this for the next several stories we go through, because if you wonder, what happened to Mike Johnson? Well, this is a pretty good explanation. So did we.
Mike Johnson had one meeting with the CIA and he completely flipped.
And he completely flipped everything he had said. Right? Yeah. It's not worth his life, or it's not worth whatever he did behind the junior high school there, of which we have no knowledge.
Bill Hicks used to have a bit where he said, I think whenever a new president gets elected, they bring him into a room and they start the projector and they show him a view of the Kennedy assassination from a view we've never seen before.
Yeah.
And then they just stop and they go, any questions? And he's like, no, I got it. I got it.
That was a stupid joke too, and now I can't believe
it's not
accurate to real life it is.
Yes.
Well, it's like a joke.
Have you seen the Octopus Murders on Netflix? Okay, so
I had to stop right there. I want everybody to check out the Octopus Murders on Netflix. The motherfucking politicians are scared of the CIA and the FBI. And real shit. And it's like the joke, like they said, that the motherfucking joke from Bill Hicks. Look up Bill Hicks, the motherfucking comedian. He said the fucking joke was every president that gets elected goes to an office, talk to the CIA. The CIA shows the new president a video of the JFK assassination. And they ask this nigga any fucking questions. Nigga, let you know, nigga, we will blow your fucking head off if you go left. Nigga, that's some crazy shit, nigga. That's a mob tactic. But you gotta think about what JFK was trying to fucking do. He wasn't about to go to war with Cuba. He was trying to stop the motherfucking FBI and CIA. He was rolling with MLK. It was like, nigga, we gotta murk this nigga. Real shit, nigga. They got rid of a lot of key figures in the 60s. Real shit. They got rid of JFK and his motherfucking brother. And they was knocking off his bloodline through the motherfucking years. Shit motherfucking crazy. Shit motherfucking crazy. But yeah, check out the Octopus Murders on Netflix. Y'all want to watch something on Netflix?
On Netflix? Okay, so that is a very interesting documentary about a reporter who investigated this conspiracy and links between the intelligence agencies and Wackenhut, a corporation that does private security. They're basically like the modern Pinkertons, and murders and assassinations.
Was that the first private prisons that got approved? Was Wackenhut?
Were they the first? Were they the first?
Because all the rappers now,
they do run private prisons.
They put a directive out that we're going to make the rap when the 90s, when NWA came out, they owned the private prisons. So they made sure to make the rap gangster rap. It changed overnight. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was on purpose. Ice Cube was saying it to Bill Maher, and Bill Maher's like, "Oh, come on, like Bill Maher."
Yeah. Now we go off into the prison industrial complex with the private prisons and shit. We need to make gangster rap so they can motherfucking actually do this gangster shit so they can lock these dumbasses up. And Ice Cube's talking to Bill Maher about it and shit. And plus, what makes me mad about that situation is why talk to him about it now? I mean, I don't know if it was like this year or the year before last or last year, I'm not sure. But it comes out like, yeah, nigga, like there was an agenda to get niggas locked up. But when we was saying that shit through the 90s and in the early 2000s, we was looking at our groups fucking crazy. You know, nigga, y'all shadow ban everything Professor Griff said about this shit. Don't get me wrong, like gangster rap was the shit, but it was motherfucking manufactured. And like when you start putting two and two together and following history, it was like, damn, after gangster rap, then it was bling bling, then it was motherfucking trap music, and then it's this bubblegum Superman shit. Now it's all fruitcakeish. It's just like, yeah, it's being controlled. You know, like they was like, nigga, we don't want no conscious, no revolutionary type of motherfucking rapping. It's like, no, we want motherfuckers to get locked up and we want motherfuckers to be stupid. That was the name of the game. And plus another reason why probably Ice Cube talking about it now is because, like, nigga, he was part of this shit. Nigga, you was in that room.
It's like, oh, come on. Like, Bill Maher trying to explain to Bill Maher.
It gets into all that. And they actually interviewed somebody who literally, they weren't a politician. They were in intelligence or something. I can't remember exactly what. They claim that film exists. And they were shown that film.
What film?
That they were shown a film of the JFK assassination from a completely different angle that is not shown to the public.
Who claims this?
It was in the documentary. Keaton, did you watch that documentary? Did you watch it?
But it was referenced to. Didn't Judge Napolitano?
I think she was in the intelligence services.
Yeah.
The Judge Napolitano thing.
Right.
And Rogan said to me about Trump saying, if you saw what I saw, you wouldn't release it either.
I would.
Right, exactly,
so that's the film recommendation. Check out The Octopus Murders on Netflix. Very interesting. So these are some of the people on the U.S. Senate Committee on Intelligence. Mark Warner, Mark Rubio. You got Ron Wyden in there. Bunch of people where you got to wonder why they vote. And Tucker was very timely because this really sheds a light on a lot of what happened in Congress this week. Now, some of you might remember Chuck Schumer saying the soft part out loud a few years back on the Rachel Maddow show. You see, once in a while, it's very hard to be a 24-hour-a-day liar. Once in a while, these people tell the truth by accident without realizing that they're giving away the game.
That's what's called a jab.
Take on the intelligence community.
Yes.
They have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated?
I don't know, but from what I am told, they are very upset with how he has treated them and talked about them.
If Rachel Maddow were a journalist in any meaningful sense of the word, that conversation would have gone in a completely different direction. Are you saying that the intelligence services can dictate terms to the president of the United States? Isn't that a violation of the Constitution? Maddow doesn't give a shit about violations of the Constitution.
Yeah, what she should have said was, wait a minute, so you're telling me that the president needs to be afraid of the CIA and the FBI and not the other way around? And so then my question to you, Mr. Chairman of the party, Mr. Speaker, Senate, whatever the fuck his title is, the Democratic leader in the Senate.
Yeah.
My question to you is, who does the CIA and the FBI work for? If they don't work for the president, who do they work for? If the president has to be afraid of them, who are they afraid of?
You don't know what they do? He just said, I don't know what they do, but I've heard them. You're not in on it? Where you get to know how they handle it. They just do whatever the hell they want.
That's right.
At the beginning of the interview, at the beginning of that Tucker interview,
say again, Keaton?
At the beginning of the Tucker Rogan interview, Tucker mentions that the 2016 race is what made him question all of what he used to think about quote-unquote democracy and how it functions. He says once he saw the reaction to the Trump campaign and what anti-democratic measures were taken to stop a democratic result that the powers that be did not like, that led him to realize that it's not actually a democracy in a meaningful sense. You're allowed democracy when the powers that be don't care who wins. You're allowed to exercise meaningless choices, right? But once they actually are invested,
you can choose
in which side wins and which side loses, they will sabotage whoever they have to and produce an anti-democratic result if they can. And I think the only reason they didn't successfully stop Trump in 2016 is because they took for granted that he would lose. And by the time it came time to actually stop him, it was too late. And in 2020, notice they did not make that same mistake a second time. Look at all of the people who were really instrumental in that Trump victory. And I would count Julian Assange not as an agent of the Trump campaign, but certainly those leaks helped him. They locked him up. They locked Roger Stone up. They locked Steve Bannon up. They threw Alex Jones off the air. Look at all of these. I won't say they were active agents of the Trump campaign. Some were, some weren't. But all of these influential figures who sort of helped usher in this nightmare scenario in the eyes of the Chuck Schumers of the world, they were all taken off the board for that second campaign. And to an extent, they're being taken off the board now. The Daily Beast just ran an article, and it's not wrong, about how this Trump trial here with the hush money is already hurting his campaign. If you notice, he's slipped in the polls a little bit. Biden has come up. What has Biden done that he would come up? Nothing. Right. Trump is being kept off the campaign trail because he's in court. Not only can he not have rallies, he can't fundraise. He can't go and bundle money because he's sitting in a fucking courtroom on a bullshit charge. And so they're doing it again. Like, they're not going to make the same mistake a second or third time, which means, odds are, in a fair fight, he wins easily. But it's not going to be a fair fight. We know that.
So, in the words of the courageous Cornel West, sounds like you like Trump more than you're letting on.
Yeah, well, I have to play that up while I'm here, obviously. I have to feed the Trump fan. This is a closet MAGA show.
Doesn't that reveal the failure of the left, that no one will call this out because the left is now the establishment, and the establishment is doing this, and they're going along? There's no one, even Pulitzer Prize winning authors who I've had on the show won't write an article about how they're weaponizing the Justice Department to go after their political opponents. Certainly Cornel West isn't going to do it because he's an agent of the establishment. Nobody will call this out.
They all believe the ends justify the means. And if you believe the ends justify the means in this context, ironically, you are a fascist. Like, if you believe that the democratic process can be sabotaged and gutted in order to prevent an outcome that you don't like, well, that's what fascism. That is certainly. Now I'm going to unironically quote Cornel West. That is actually an element of fascism.
Well, and if you talk to Zionists now, they see that the genocide is not a policy that they can openly back. I'm seeing a lot of them retreat to but Trump. But we can't abandon Biden but Trump. So if genocide is not your line on supporting someone, you don't have one. You literally do not have one. What is worse than genocide?
Trump. I got an answer for you.
Trump. That was easy, Ron.
Niggas is tripping on this left like paradigm shit. But yeah, I fucks with the Jimmy Dore show. This nigga's like a stand-up comic, but he got his own show. He's an old guy and shit. But that's what's going on with that. But what I got out of that was, I already knew that the motherfucking CIA and the motherfucking FBI runs the motherfucking shit. Just now we just letting the world know, hey, yo, that your president is scared of the motherfucking FBI and the CIA. And we're going to take niggas off the board. What else I got? Something about, hold on, what was it? Where is that? This nigga Joe Biden talking about one of his uncles was shot down in World War II and got ate by cannibals and shit. And then his motherfucking Justice Department was like, yo, nigga, that ain't happening. Joe Biden is on some shit, bro. Joe Biden is on some shit. I can't find a video of it there, but I remember motherfucking seeing something about it, but I didn't screenshot to go back to it and find it.
Hey, it's Asia Sky for Hip Hop DX.
But this is about Kanye.
Check this out. Kanye West is reportedly looking to bring his beautiful, dark, twisted fantasies to
Oh my God.
life with his own adult film company. According to TMZ, Ye is planning to launch a Yeezy porn studio, which will be a part of a broader adult entertainment division in his existing Yeezy empire.
Now, what the fuck? What the fuck? Really? This nigga's a real true fucking cult leader now. He's so fucking backwards. You could have had the industry inside the fucking church, you dumb shit. But no, you need a motherfucking tax write-offs on 3 different businesses, huh? You greedy motherfucker, you. Now we're really about to have some motherfucking non-disclosure agreement conversations now.
The outlet claims that Ye is in talks with Mike Moz, who is the ex-husband of porn star Stormy Daniels, who's a veteran.
Now, when was the last time we heard about Stormy Daniels? I don't even know who the fuck Stormy Daniels is until I heard about that fucking Trump trial. I'm like, damn, nigga, like you fucking with niggas that got connections to the Trump. Let me know in the comments, like, was it Stormy Daniels? Was it Stormy Daniels? Let me know. Because, like, I'm more of a Sarah J. Lisa Ann fan. Cougar time, don't let cougar time, don't stop.
In the business himself to help him get the brand up and running. As for a launch date, Yeezy Porn could make its debut as early as this summer. Hip Hop DX.
Wow, damn, this summer. It don't take that long to open up a porn studio, man. All you need is about like $5,000 or $10,000, get a nice ass house and a couple girls and the camera. It don't really take that much. You know, like make sure you pay these hoes at least $2 to $3K, and you good to go, man. Man, real shit. All you need is $15,000. About like 3 girls. You know, so like pay them like 2 G's a piece. You know, like you know, like you'll still have some money left. But like this nigga's a millionaire, so you know, like it probably took him like at least, you know, like a couple mil. But he said he fucking with the motherfucker that motherfucker worked with Stormy Daniels. What the fuck is Kanye going to do with a porn studio? That's the real fucking question. Man, none of the girls should fuck with this nigga in any way, shape, or fucking form. That's like, wait, Kanye just opened up a studio? But you know what the bitches gonna say? How much you paying? How much you paying? Kanye's like, look, I got a luxurious mansion. Y'all gonna have your own rooms, and we're gonna listen to Kanye West songs every day.
Yeezy Porn could make its debut as early as this summer. Hip Hop DX has reached out to Kanye's team.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me read this shit. Jimmy Dore was injured, yes. I don't know. You know, all I know is I motherfucking saw like one of his shows on Facebook, and I was like, fucking let me subscribe to his channel. And then I've been following him ever since. But I heard he was a comedian, but like I never watched the stand-up. I heard Steven Crowder was a comedian, but I never watched the stand-up. But but I fuck with the YouTube channels. What the fuck, Kanye? I know, right? Fake tits, 2G. Nah, they get. Nah, nigga, you ain't joking. In the Bible, prostitutes are worth a loaf of bread.
For comment, but has not yet received a response.
Wait, go back.
The outlet claims that Ye is in talks with Mike Moz, who is the ex-husband of.
You've been watching Jimmy since 2015. That's what's up. I thought I was the only one that fucked with Jimmy Dore, like content. You know, that's what's up. Because like Jimmy Dore be saying some real shit. You know, and they be motherfucking, and they be joking a little bit on the show too. You know, it's kind of like it's kind of like Steven Crowder's show, that Louder with Crowder, but it's just like, it's just more older guys. but they all talking about the same shit. Fucked up politics and crazy, wacky politicians. And like calling out the hypocrisies and the bullshit that goes on within it.
Porn star Stormy Daniels, who's a veteran in the business himself, to help him get the brand up and running. As for a launch date, Yeezy Porn could make its debut as early as this summer. Pop DX has reached out to Kanye's team for comment, but has not yet received a response. And while this move could certainly be out there, even for Kanye West, the rap icon has made no secret of his appetite for adult content in the past. In a 2019 interview with Zane Lowe prior to the release of his Jesus is King album, Ye admitted he had a full-on pornography addiction. At the time, he said,
different layers to trafficking. Like, for me, Playboy was my gateway into full-on pornography addiction. My dad had a Playboy left out at age 5. And it's affected almost every choice I made for the rest of my life.
Get the fuck out of here. Fellas. All right. Growing up back in the day, we all came across the magazines and we all took those bitches to the treehouse. Everybody passed them around and said, ooh, look at this. Took them to school. Wow, nigga, look at this bad bitch. But nigga, we ain't motherfucking go crazy. Because after we was done googly eyeing the books, we put it up and went back to playing basketball, football, wrestling, and playing tag and shit. Kanye is saying, yo, nigga, when I saw this book, I became weird. Get the fuck out of here, Kanye. You know what? There's always at least one weird nigga in every fucking group. And it was Kanye in his. Like everybody went back to being kids, he was still in the treehouse looking at the book. Where everybody was like, "No, where the fuck Kanye go?" Oh yeah, like he stood in the treehouse looking at his daddy's Playboy. That nigga weird. Porn addiction. That was the gateway for me to. It's like, nigga, really just looking. So you telling me like looking at some chicks in the magazine made you make fuck up decisions for the rest of your goddamn life? All right. I still don't get how porn addiction can ruin shit. I don't get it. I still don't get it. Now, I say it could be a problem if you got a female, right? If you with a female, you staying with her, she's staying with you or whatever, and you just watching porn and you're not fucking your girl that's in your fucking bed. Okay, that's the problem. That's a problem then. But nigga, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Bitch, I watch porn to keep cheating on your ass. It's like, damn, tired of seeing this bitch. You know what? Let me go watch Cherokee real quick. But some motherfuckers be like, let me go fuck a bitch with a Cherokee ass real quick. This bitch is horrible. Where you going? I'm going to the store. Nigga going back to the hood.
Every choice I made for the rest of my life, from age 5 to now, having to kick the habit.
Get the fuck out of here. Hold on, let's go back.
Zane Lowe, prior to the release of his Jesus is King album, he admitted he had a full.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like when I first saw the magazine back in the day, because I was the one that introduced the pictures to the treehouse. So everybody look, everybody Googled eyed, and then all right, it's time to put the shit back before I fuck around and get in trouble for taking it. And then when I finally did get caught, I didn't get in trouble. It's like how the TV shows was. It's like when the kid stumble across the stash and they go back to show everybody, but like when it's time for the fucking daddy to find it, he realizes it's gone, but the daddy know immediately who took it. Yeah. The nigga gave me a fucking stern talking to. Like, the nigga, don't take that book, take these. So Kanye just a weirdo, dog.
He admitted he had a full-on pornography addiction. At the time, he said,
different layers to trafficking. Like for me, Playboy was my gateway into full-on pornography addiction. My dad had a Playboy left out at age 5, and it's affected.
But still, even after I saw the magazines, I ain't started seeing videos till like I was a teenager because we was always poor. I didn't have a DVD player or VHS. When we finally got it, nigga, like I was just watching a whole bunch of action movies all day. I ain't really get to the adult film industry until like I think maybe my like a sophomore year in high school. And then I was like, oh shit, like these the bitches from the pictures I used to motherfucking show my friend. But even then I was like, okay, watch this, entertain. Let me get back to my rapping. Let me get back to my drawing. Let me get back to hanging out with my friends. This shit did not ruin my fucking life. Like, I don't see how motherfuckers can actually become motherfucking weirdos after seeing a nipple. like nigga.
Almost every choice I made for the rest of my life.
It affected almost every choice. So every time you talk to a female, what you pictured her naked or something, or like every decision you made was a lustful or a deceitful or a desirable decision or something because you know you're gonna get some pussy in return. I don't get it. I don't get it. They do that after program. Wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Go back. Okay, Kanye's MK Ultra. Yup. Kanye been right after the blonde hair period. Yup. Ruby went away and came back. Yep. Exactly. So, yep. Is it okay? Yep. Got you. Yep. But I ain't tripped. And real shit, none of my friends flipped out. None of my friends became weird after that. So it was like, even when we became teenagers and we got into motherfucker like flipping DVDs and shit, we used to motherfucker, like trade DVDs. We used to sell these motherfucking shits. It was like, nigga, we still wasn't weird and motherfucking acting crazy. Nigga, I was selling pornos at one point. So it was like motherfuckers did it, and I was like, okay, I can make some money. So if I wasn't trading, I was selling. But still though, it's like, it wasn't weird. The motherfuckers watch this shit and become weirdos.
From age 5 to now having to kick the habit. And it just presents itself in the open, like it's okay. And I stand up and say, it's not okay.
So what are your thoughts on Kanye West venturing into the porn industry? And do you think
my thoughts is clear? How you just get over a fucking addiction and you about to create an industry of your addiction? Are you trying to relapse? Like if you claiming that this was a fucking problem, why would you create the problem industry? Why? It's fucking retarded. Fucking retarded to me. Real shit. Real fucking shit. That shit is fucking retarded. You got over a porn addiction, but you about to get into the porn industry. Shit dumb. That shit dumb. That's like me saying I hate it could be anything. It could be like I hate something, but I fuck around and create the industry that I hate. Or like fuck it. Like I hate weed, but I create an industry of weed. This shit crazy, man. It don't make no fucking sense. Nah, Kanye is a multi-millionaire. So he got the funding to motherfucking do whatever. My question is, why is he talking to the motherfucking nigga that fucked with Stormy Daniels, knowing the situation with Trump? I think he about to get himself set up in a scandal. Real shit. Coming into this industry, he's going to set himself up for failure. Not saying that his failure is going to come from the motherfucking like the visuals or the girls. His downfall is going to come from the people that he's fucking with in that industry, man. I don't think they're going to want him there. Nigga, you be at every fucking award show, MTV, BET. Now you about to be at the AVN, nigga. We don't want to see you. We don't want to see you, Kanye. Real shit, nigga. Stay in your fucking lane, my nigga. Stay in your fucking lane, bro. You just talked about, you just got over this addiction. Now you about to motherfucking get into your addiction. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Eminem has been clean for 16 years, nigga. Like, that's like Eminem going back to his drug life. Nigga, are you fucking insane, Kanye? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. That nigga dumb. And by the way, did I mention he's a fucking cult leader? Did I mention he's a fucking cult leader? Get the hell out of here, man. Now, we need to talk about. We need to talk about. Hold on, real quick. Talk about the first industry plants. The first industry plant.
Just name it. They were more successful, at least for a period of time. I like this right. Hey yo, kid, where's the boss? Shit, and I kid you not. I like the Sprite. I like the Sprite a lot. My name is Sprite. But I'm not playing. I like the Sprite. You know what I'm saying? I like to kick it live to a soundless hype. So let's get into it. Kid and Play's origin story is actually really dope. It's kind of wholesome. Too wholesome to be true. It sounds like something in a movie. Kid and Play are really Christopher Reed, Kid, and Christopher Martin Play. Reed was the son of a Jamaican immigrant and an Irish woman from the Bronx, and Martin was the son of a former hoodlum turned preacher in Queens. Kid had to rough go up things as a child, living with his white Irish mother early in his childhood, who was shunned by her family for having a biracial child out of wedlock. She actually died alone, apart from her family. And then after his mother died, instead of going with his grandparents, he moved in with his Jamaican grandfather. And the story behind that is pretty damn ugly. Kid described this as a culture shock, going from living under this Irish woman into this all-black neighborhood with a Jamaican dad. However, his father provided a solid foundation for him, and Kid was smart and nerdy, which had him on a good track before hip-hop fame came calling. On the flip side, Play was your classic street urchin who was essentially saved by hip-hop. When he wasn't getting kicked out of 4 different high schools, he was a stick-up kid and was not headed in the right direction. And them meeting as a rival rap and dance crew probably saved his life when he was in high school. Kid was a member of a group called the Turnout Brothers, and Play was a member of the Super Love, along with their future DJ, producer, and
Kid was smart. Play was a gangster.
Manager and a very important figure in this story, Herbie the Love Bug.
And Salt and Pepper came after you guys. Yeah, Herbie was the third guy who came in, and then Herbie. Yeah, Herbie Love Bug, which is our producer manager.
After high school, Kid and Play broke off and made their own duo and tried their hands at making music to make their dreams come true. And it seems like once they became their own group, they created a very unique and deep bond. Play helped Kid develop a more savvy.
All right, I gotta pause right here because I want y'all to see this picture real quick. Now, this is kind of suspect, y'all. This is kind of suspect, y'all. Y'all gotta see the pic. Show the pic. You gotta see the pic, y'all. Turn out, brothers. Y'all gotta see the pic, y'all. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. We just dance, y'all. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. Out here on the floor. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. Gonna give you more and more. Oh yeah, nigga, that's my shit. But this is gay as hell. Show the pic.
Charismatic persona and helped him engage with his environment and blackness as a whole. And all of a sudden you hear this voice, you know what I'm saying? This voice like you wouldn't believe. It's like, yo, it's the rapper. This is the guy. Let's check out. Let's get up close to the booth and see. And lo and behold, we make our way and we're fighting and we're getting through. And there's a guy with an afro with glasses this thick and freckles on his face.
So like this would play first scene kid. It's like, nigga, who's this nigga? This the rapper. Let me move out. Man, nigga, move out the way, nigga. Let me see what's in the book. This eraser head, freckled, four-eyed motherfucker spitting this shit. Hey, yo, real shit, yo. That's how it was with me. They was like, who the fuck is this nigga spitting like he's the biggest artist? It's like, nigga, that's like, what? Nigga, this little nigga got a lot of fucking fire. Nigga, when my homeboy taught me how to rap, shouts out to my nigga Kamari. After this nigga taught me how to rap, after that one fucking day, and I went home and I motherfucker wrote my line, this nigga's like, oh, nigga, that shit fire. Took me around the hood. It wasn't even 16 bars. It was like maybe like 14. Nigga, took me around the hood. I spit that shit and everybody fucked with it. They've been calling me J Money ever since. They still call me J Money. You know, because that was my rap name. So it was like, yo, once everybody fucked with it, then I kept going. And I started getting better, start elevating, start you know, like listening to other sound. But real shit, like I was just into motherfucking poetry and gaming and chilling with my homies. But you know, like once that rapping shit started, it was just, you know, it was kind of life changing. And plus, it was another avenue to maybe not think about the motherfucking traumatizing shit I was going through in life. So it was like I got music, art, and literature. You know, like that's when I got that motherfucking Trinity style going. So I was like, bet it up.
On the flip side, Kid convinced Play to get out of the streets and get his GED and slow down so that they could actually pursue the music that they were looking into without him possibly facing.
Nah, real shit. Kid was like, yo, nigga, you need to stop doing that bullshit. And if we're gonna be serious about this group shit, nigga, you gotta just let that bullshit out there in the streets go. And the average minded nigga be like, man, nigga, there's money out here, the money, the hoes, the motherfucking street fame, the street cred. But Play was like, you know what, Kid, you right. Nigga, let's do this shit.
Jail time or death. This dichotomy of Kid as the straight-laced and earnest one and Play as the slick hustler type didn't always play out in their music, but it was a core theme in pretty much all of their films. Also didn't hurt that Kid was biracial and extremely light-skinned to the point of nearly passing, which played into this dichotomy. Throughout their career, Kid is the main focus of most of their media, especially away from the music.
Hold on. Yep. Ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Which also was helped by his one-of-a-kind at the time hair, a thick, poofy, high-top fade that was said to be 10 to 12 inches at times. In these early days, however, Kid and Play were still trying to figure out how to get attention outside of that. So they released their first two songs as the Fresh Force Crew, I don't know. It's one of them. It's very 80s, not to be mistaken for the R&B band and writing collective Full Force, who you might remember from their first two movies, House Party 1 and 2, as comedic bullies.
Yo, this punk motherfucker throwing shit at us, man.
Man, this punk motherfucker throwing shit at us. Those niggas was hilarious, bro.
Man, I smell something, man. You smell something? Definitely smell something in my hair.
I smell pussy.
But Full Force is also like responsible for some of the best pop hit records of the 90s up into the 2010s. Like, seriously, when you look at the resume of the songs that these three dudes.
Yeah, these three motherfuckers right here. Shut up, pick. These motherfuckers. Y'all let me know in the comments how these motherfuckers look to y'all. These motherfuckers made hits after hits for a lot of motherfuckers. This motherfucker's throwing shit at us. You're gonna kick your fucking ass. Yeah, the motherfuckers look fruity, don't they? Ain't gonna hurt nobody. Gonna give you more and more. Pause on this. That was full force. Those motherfuckers look like motherfuckers. I swear, yeah. Yeah, I think they brothers. If they not, either two of them is, and one of them. Should I know? They probably family. I don't remember. And I might have to do a motherfucking. Might have to do a video on these cats. These motherfuckers got a hand in a lot in the industry, and I need to find out why.
For everyone from Patti LaBelle to James Brown to Britney Spears to NSYNC. So if I were less disciplined, there will be way more tangents like that. Like, this story is so cool. It's like the 6 degrees of separation between Kid and Play, and so many significant figures of that time up until now would add a whole extra hour to this video if I didn't force myself to try to keep it to a minimum. But keep factoids like that in mind, because it's going to happen over and over and over. So as the Fresh Force crew, Kid and Play released 2 songs, She's a Skeezer and Rock Me, which were complete ripoffs of Run DMC songs. Like, they probably should have gotten sued.
That's Play and I's first group. Yeah. See, now, both our individual groups kind of disintegrated. You know, everybody could start doing their own thing and or getting discouraged and whatever. And me and Play, even though we were in different groups, we would hang out all the time. And so we were just like, well, you know, me and you should do something. We hang out every freaking day. Let's do something. And that was the first iteration of Kid and Play. We called ourselves Fresh Force.
Okay,
and we were very, very whack.
She's a skeezer, cause every time I rock, always waiting backstage. Cause I can top, my government been storming, my friends try to warn me.
As we all know, hip hop has never rewarded people.
Yeah, they should have got sued. But it sounded better. It sounded motherfucking better. She's a skeezer, because like most of these bitches are skeezer. You can play that now, and it will be relevant. You can play the Adidas now. Well, no. Is anybody out there still wearing Adidas? Let me know in the comments. But that skeezer, most definitely. I had the 2 Hype CD back then.
On originals for these things, never stood a chance, and they went back to the drawing board and enlisted the aforementioned Herbie Love, who was already starting to make waves as a writer.
Man, that nigga Herbie Love. This nigga got a xenomorph head, bro. Real shit, bro. But nigga, real shit, nigga Herbie put those niggas on.
Rewarded people being on originals for these things, never stood a chance, and they went back to the drawing board and enlisted the aforementioned Herbie Love.
Hold on. Let me show you a picture of this nigga. This motherfucker got a xenomorph. This nigga rocking the motherfucking xenomorph head, bro. This nigga got a motherfucking xenomorph / Patrick Ewing in this bitch. This nigga. If y'all know who this nigga is, this is Herbie Love, dog. This the motherfucking nigga that motherfucker put these niggas on. You know, the nigga that was behind the motherfucking scenes and shit. Now, I forgot who the other guy was in the background, but
who was already starting to make waves as a writer and producer, doing it for salt and pepper. I keep saying salt and pepper. It's salt and pepper. I don't know why I'm doing pepper. I'm just old, but that's not even an excuse. I'm just dumb. Herbie is a major part of their story early on, and the strongest evidence that, surprise, early on, Kid and Play weren't really industry plants. It's just, it doesn't hold up. That's what I thought when I first started researching this, and you'll see why as we go on. But them, along with Herbie and a lot of other people, including, again, Salt and Pepper, they just came up at the same time doing music and trying to be just talented young folks of this era in that particular area. Herbie was a visionary, and in this nascent phase of hip-hop, where hip-hop was still at its core dance music for parties and having fun, he was like this Tyler the Creator type figure, but without the solo career. But his creative vision congealed into what was known as the Idol Makers Collective, and some of the biggest hits of that mid and late 80s hip-hop era were made through him. Not just for Salt and Pepper, who, by the way, he dated Salt of Salt and Pepper.
I'll be fucking the shit out of Salt and Pepper. Get up on this. You goddamn right I'm gonna get up on that ass, bitch. Yep, I'm gonna push it right in her vagina.
Remember his face from a couple of those videos. And not just Kid and Play, but also Dana Dane, Kwame, Sweet Tea, and others. These are deep cuts that you won't remember if you're not like 35 at least.
I'm 36. I remember all these motherfuckers. I wanted to fuck the shit out of Salt and Pepper.
But if you're alive and paying attention to this early era of hip hop, you know these names, and especially the fashions and the sounds. Even to me, the late 80s and early 90s feels like an alien civilization. Even though I lived through it and I was there when it happened, it still looks otherworldly to me. The feathered hair on the black women, the zoot suits on the black men, the baggy clothes on girls. I remember New Jack Swing in the hard 90s.
Can't forget about the New Jack Swing. Nigga know shit about the New Jack Swing. STR is my name.
Dancing that goes with it, as Prim's Hood Cinema often says. So many people contributed to this moment in black culture. New Edition, Teddy Riley, Michael Jackson, Prince. He who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named. It's like, why is motherfuckers scared to say R. Kelly? Like, nigga, man, nigga, fuck the bullshit, nigga. R. Kelly dropped hits. Nigga, fuck the bullshit, dog. Dude dropped hits. Yes, he a fucking weirdo, but you gotta separate the artist from the motherfucking weirdo. Then when it comes to the motherfucking artist, that motherfucker dropped, nigga, like, most of these motherfuckers is my age. Some of y'all was probably conceived to R. Kelly music. So, niggas like, he who shall not be named, but your ass was conceived to motherfucking R. Kelly. Like, at least I can say my child was conceived to Jagged Edge. So, making this promise to be you. Why would we let this thing go? Uh-oh, got a parody idea. I just got to get the tone and frequency right. I just got to get that tone and frequency right. I killed this parody. Everything. We never even had a fight. I'm not high enough. I can't catch the note.
But we often forget that a lot of this starts also with Herbie Love. The looks of Salt and Pepper and Kid and Play and Kwame are instantly iconic for the time, and a lot of that came from him. This time period probably doesn't look the way it looks without him. But unlike people like Teddy Riley, who kept producing throughout the 80s and 90s, in the 2000s, and even today is making hits for K-pop artists, Herbie cut out of rap and hip-hop music early for reasons we'll get to later. And yeah, it was all organic. Kid and Play's involvement with Herbie, a homegrown talent, kind of kills the whole industry plant idea. Herbie put them under Salt and Pepper as they start to take off, and you can see Kid and Play in early.
Wait, skirt. The real Roxanne was a hottie. The real Roxanne could get the business. She could get the business. I'm afraid she'll beat my ass though. She got that look that like she fight niggas. you know, like during the time that she was rapping, you know, she looked like she'll beat a nigga ass. Queen Latifah definitely look like she'd beat a nigga ass, and she would, and she'll probably shoot a nigga too. But shouts out to Roxanne because she left the game to go to motherfucking school and get her shit right, and so like she could be a high prominent woman in the industry. It's like she left to go get her shit together, came back to help out a lot of motherfucking people in the game. So shouts out to Roxanne.
Videos. Eventually they became Salt-N-Pepa's opening act as they developed more music. And then they break out on their own with big hits, Getting Funky, and probably their best song, Rolling with Kid and Play. During this era where hip hop had more room for variety and hadn't been so rigidly defined yet, it was still capable of being fun and lighthearted, and that made Kid and Play really perfect for the moment. They were party friendly, parent and kid friendly, and they just embodied what a big portion of
nigga, fuck that, nigga. They was the Soldier Boys of that era. You, nigga, but they had better lyrics.
Thought hip hop was supposed to be and would be going forward. In a lot of ways, it looked like an evolution of what the rock and roll, doo-wop, and soul era was in previous generations. And that makes sense because remember, Kid and Play and them grew up watching that in the 60s and 70s. They grew up watching the Temptations, James Brown, the Jackson 5. To a lot of people, it was a continuation of those same traditions. And Kid and Play brought that exact energy with their performances, their high energy dance, and their complex and flamboyant looks. And they looked so cool, and it made people want to imitate them. Like this particular dance where they jump over their own legs. I saw so many people almost break their neck trying to learn this one move.
I seen people land on their fucking face trying to do the motherfucking leg over the other leg flip and land on their face. There's videos online, niggas landing on their face trying to do the Kid and Play dance. That's some iconic shit.
That I would be included in it. But I think one of the key things, aside from Kid being this unique spectacle to see, was that they were clean. Not just clean cut in their image, but also in their lyrical content. They were anti-drug, pro-safe sex, and anti-violence, etc. And
don't do drugs and fuck a bitch with a condom. If you don't do that, nigga, I'll rob you.
This, again, is before their major mainstream success. Now, you can say that this was a cynical goal to begin with, both likely experimenting with drugs early in their careers. And as I stated, Play was a former hoodlum. But it's hard to say how cynical this was because aside from Run DMC's shoe deal, no one knew how far hip-hop would go or how much money was in being commercially appealing. But wherever hip-hop was going to go, Kid and Play prided themselves to be the first in line to take that trip. They were more marketable than any one of their peers. And again, this wasn't an industry thing. It was a Herbie Love thing. Herbie Love figured early on, maybe he was wrong, but figured that the hardcore aggressive hip hop that was also around at the time wasn't going to make it anywhere. Like at this time, still, violence was prone to break out at hip hop shows and concerts. DJ Scott LaRock of Boogie Down Productions was possibly the first figure in hip hop to be unceremoniously murdered. It was hard for some acts to get insured to play at clubs. A lot of radio stations refused to play rap on the radio. Whatever corporate interest there was a little iffy, but not with Kid and Play. So much so that they caught the eye of another rising, unsung, legendary figure in black media, one Reginald Hutton.
We're getting ready to do a movie soon now. Okay, we're getting ready to do a movie coming out.
Called The Skinheads.
No, I don't want it to be called The Skinheads. It's a movie. It's called House Parties, coming out courtesy of New Line Cinema. So we don't want to change the look too much there, Don.
Some of you nerds already know the name, as Hutland is responsible for possibly the most beloved run of comics in the Black Panther comic series. But well before that, during this era, Hutland was proven to be a very talented black mind in media. Hutland started out making music videos, and today this has turned into a prolific career as a director and producer for shows like Modern Family and The Office, Django Unchained, etc. He even served as the president for BET for a few years. But his first big break is also the height of Kid and Play's career, the hood classic comedy House Party. Hutland had written and gotten the green light for the film, and he immediately wanted Kid and Play for the lead roles after having worked with them in the earlier music videos. But the studio ironically wanted Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff. However, the studio, New Line Cinema, was actually in the middle of suing Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff over the Nightmare on My Street video. So Will and Jeff declined, not wanting to do business with them while they were getting sued, and Hutland got to go with his first choice, Kid and Play. It's also rumored that Kid and Play were set to be the stars for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, with Play being Will's character and Kid being Carlton. Like, imagine this alternate universe. Who marries Jada Pinkett? Does she get to do what she really wants to do and go live on a farm instead of forcing herself to marry Will? Is Tupac alive in this universe? House Party is a classic for a lot of reasons. It's kind of like a black Ferris Bueller's Day Off to an extent.
No, House Party is a classic hood movie because every nigga that went to their first house party remembers their first house party. No matter what happened, good or bad. House Party is remembered because we're going there to dance. We're going there to get girls. Some motherfuckers is going there to, like to probably share some drinks or spike the punch. But thank God I ain't been through none of that. Like, I missed the party where the chick took the X pill and she started wigging out. Yeah, but her mama came home and shut the party down. I wasn't there for that party, but I wish I was. I heard that bitch was lit. But House Party is iconic because we all remember going to a house party, and most of the time it was just like this event. Because there's always gonna be some motherfucker there that's getting into it with somebody else that don't belong at the fucking party. Now, by being a high school party, now you gotta worry about the school bullies and shit. And like, these school bullies was full force.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off to an extent, because it's this popular story of just one adventurous day in the young man's life. Kid and Play are planning a big house party because Play's parents are out of town, but Kid has to sneak out of the house to go to the party.
Oh yeah, and most importantly, by the end of the night, hopefully you can smash the girl that you always wanted to fuck with at school or in the hood. You know what I'm saying? The goal is to get the chick that you're trying to motherfucking get with. Or you going there to dance, or you going there to meet a new chick and probably get her name, number, and y'all can probably grow as a boyfriend, girlfriend, or a couple, whatever the fuck we used to do back in high school. That puppy love bullshit. But yeah, House Party is fucking memorable because it takes us back to the time where we was teenagers going to our first party.
Grounded due to a fight at school earlier that day.
Oh yeah, and most importantly, it's real important to me because like these motherfuckers was motherfucking also rapping too, and Kid was like, oh my god, like my rhymes. He had his rhymes on a piece of paper, and I used to do the same shit, before I got my notebooks and shit. And I used to motherfucking keep my rhymes on me. I keep a pen and pad on me at all times with some paper, whatever. Whatever come to me, I just write it down and I motherfucking like go over it later. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had a lot of fucking shit in this movie that I can fucking relate to.
Not a very complex plot, but the actual execution of the movie is pretty amazing. Didn't get great reviews, but it was an immediate hit with Black youth audiences, and you can see why. It's because it so genuinely got what Black youth culture was at the time. And even today, it's aged far better than most media from the 80s and 90s. It's got still sued, and Hutland got to go with his first choice, Kid and Play. It's also rumored that Kid and Play were set to be the stars for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, with Play being Will's character and Kid.
What the hell happened? How did shit get designed by itself?
Alive in this universe. House Party is a classic for a lot of reasons. It's kind of like a black Ferris Bueller's Day Off to an extent, because it's this popular story of just one adventurous day in the young man's life. Kid and Play are planning a big house party because Play's parents are out of town, but Kid has to sneak out of the house to go to the party because he was grounded due to a fight at school earlier that day. Not a very complex plot, but the actual execution of the movie is pretty amazing. It didn't get great reviews, but it was an immediate hit with Black youth audiences. You can see why. It's because it so genuinely got what Black youth culture was at the time. And even today, it's aged far better than most media from the 80s and 90s. It's got still classic moments and sayings, aka prehistoric memes.
Lady, the B-Love's in the house. Oh, dragon crap. Won't you just go home?
Test two, baby.
So I have a theory that I've talked about in other videos that Barack Obama is like this event horizon for Black media, where before Barack Obama, if you wanted to make Black media, you just worried about what Black people wanted to see. And then after Barack Obama, suddenly you had more interest in what white people wanted to see. And although there's good media shows both before and after Obama, you can always tell that pre-Obama era Black media because it doesn't seek at all to appeal to white audiences. And what this means, among other things, is that there's just so many like core insidery jokes and elements of humor and just things that if you're not a part of Black culture from then, especially, you probably don't get it. But if you do get it, if you were there, you're probably pointing like Leonardo DiCaprio at a bunch of different stuff that happens, especially some of the people that were in the movie at the time. Like in the movie, it co-stars the legendary Robin Harris, who sadly died suddenly not long after this film. Robin Harris was looking to be the next Eddie Murphy at the time. He was only 36 years old when he died of a heart attack, unfortunately. You also have John.
Yeah, man, Robin Harris was 36. That nigga was my age right now. Heart attack. Boop, gone. Fucking crazy. The fuck was they stressing that nigga the fuck out? How the fuck did that happen? What the fuck?
Like an evolution of what the rock and roll doo-wop and soul
What the hell?
got what Black youth culture was at the time. And even today, it's aged far better than most media from the 80s and 90s. It's got still classic moments and sayings, aka prehistoric memes.
Ladies, the B-Love's in the house. Oh, dragon crap. Won't you just go home? Oh, test tube, baby.
So I have a theory that I've talked about in other videos that Barack Obama is like this event horizon for Black media, where before Barack Obama, if you wanted to make Black media, you just worried about what Black people wanted to see. And then after Barack Obama, suddenly you had more interest in what white people wanted to see. And although there's good media and shows both before and after Obama, you can always tell that pre-Obama era Black media because it doesn't seek at all to appeal to white audiences. And what this means, among other things, is that there's just so many like core insidery jokes and elements of humor and just things that if you're not a part of Black culture from then, especially, you probably don't get it. But if you do get it, if you were there, you're probably pointing like Leonardo DiCaprio at a bunch of different stuff that happens, especially some of the people that were in the movie at the time. Like in the movie, it co-stars the legendary Robin Harris, who sadly died suddenly not long after this film. Robin Harris was looking to be the next Eddie Murphy at the time. He was only 36 years old when he died of a heart attack, unfortunately. You also have John Witherspoon, aka Pops from the Boondocks. Tisha Campbell and Martin Lawrence are there well before they became Martin and Gina. Martin Lawrence, by the way, actually worked with Kid and Play and Herbie the Love Bug and Salt and Pepper. I told myself I wasn't going to get targeted. Tisha Campbell's friend is the mama from Baby Boy. Clifton Powell is there. And if you watch Grim Hood Cinema, you know he's everywhere. The most recognizable, unrecognizable Black actor in the history of film. George Clinton is there. And then the aforementioned members of Full Force playing the bullies, which makes me wonder, like, nobody that did R&B music was as swole as these dudes. I don't understand why they look like this. They look like the recruiting class for the 1985 Miami Hurricane, but you know, a different time, I guess. And these are just the ones I know off the bat. Like, not a lot of research went into that. There's probably even more people that I just don't recognize myself or hear about. But at the center are Kid and Play, and they're not giving some Academy Award-winning performance, but they're still carrying the movie with charisma and chemistry. Kid's inner dork comes across naturally, and Play's inner slick-talking hustler is just as good. And together, when they have the mic or the dance floor, you understand why Hutland wanted them for the movie. Like, there's this dance scene in the middle of the movie that is so iconic, and I remember seeing people try to, again, mimic it. Like, this was the TikTok dance trend for the era, and it still remains a crowd pleaser for them decades later. The movie's beloved, but it doesn't turn them into megastars, but it still elevates them to a level above other rappers at the time. Like, there were rap movies, kinda. There were hip-hop related movies, but there weren't any, like, big budget major releases. The Fat Boys, I think, were the first real...
Switch!
They were the first rap group to have a real movie, but they're also Fat Boys. So this being such an instant classic and ubiquitous classic, was a big deal. It was probably the first true hip hop culture movie. Black youth loved it and still do to this day.
Damn
because,
right.
Again, it acutely told our story, and a joyful one at that. Because this also came at a time where so many Black movies were these gritty hood dramas about sadness and pain and crime, etc. in the hood. And
Hell yeah, South Central, Menace Society, New Jack City. It was good to see a Kid and Play house party movie because it took our mind off what the fuck was going on in the streets.
it was like this shining light on there. And sadly, it was
Oh yeah, can't forget about Colors. Colors. That shit started so many fucking gang wars.
Kids' careers in media and in music, although they would still see more success for the inevitable fall.
So,
Goddamn ads.
I have to take care of the dog.
It's around here that you do get the strongest argument that they were in fact industry. Because although Irby, the Love Bug, and Hutland and Salt and Pepper helped shepherd them to this point, after this point they signed with ICM Management, the biggest management company for entertainment at the time, and are represented by a man named Bernie Brillstein, their old white man that we imagine behind.
Bernie Brillstein. Now let's look how this nigga look. Look at this fat Rob Reiner looking motherfucker. This motherfucker found Kid and Play. This nigga. It's like, yo, nigga. I mean, yeah. It's like this nigga signed him. Hold on. Put the spotlight on him and make it hot. Yes, I am Brillstein, so Kid and Play is gonna be the greatest industry plant ever. For I am Santa Claus.
And this opens them up to so much more stuff that they probably wouldn't have got without Bernie Brillstein. But it also proves the point that the concept of being an industry plant isn't all that great, because everything they do with this company after House Party is kind of trash. But still, before the quality of their content settles in, they make 2 more House Party movies. The relatively well-received House Party 2 in 1992, which is pretty bad upon rewatching, like at the moment as a kid.
Yo, real shit. House Party 2 was trash. Yo, real shit. It was just like a rehash of the first one, but like those niggas was just in college. And you know, the acting was always bad, but like at least the first House Party had heart. This one was like none at all. And part 3, I say like like Bernie Mac was the funniest guy in it, and this shit was trash.
Like the movie, but it did not hold up at all.
This is black men using their power of authority against another brother. Hey, yo, black, this ain't correct. Let's look at this jam on the album that I wrote for Daddy Called Me. I like to surprise.
And House Party 3 was confirmed unwatchable when it came out in 1994.
Boy, you get mad, man. So tell me about your finances. You pretty? Oh, my fiance. Yeah. See, my girl and I, we get along fine. But I'm just having a little problem getting her parents to like me. Parents? What am I gonna like you for? Boy, just be yourself. If people don't like you for being yourself, fuck them.
They also
nigga, that's the greatest message of all fucking time. Kid, just be yourself. If they don't like you when you be yourself, fuck them.
At least my personal favorite movie of theirs, Class Act, which is basically House Party 1.5. It damn near has the exact same story beats and character dynamics of House Party, but they're at least not playing Kid and Play in the movie. On top of these films, they also had a 9-issue comic with Marvel Comics, which was a spinoff from a Saturday morning cartoon, which they also got.
Yeah, those niggas also had a comic book. Industry plant like a motherfucker. They're like, yo, we're gonna make comic books and toys, motherfucker.
Was supposed to materialize into toy and merchandise deals as well. And like people maybe don't understand, there's no bigger, more reliable money than merchandising and toys. Like that would have put them in a world far beyond they could have imagined. But unfortunately, it all broke down. Still, just having that, 4 movies, a comic, a TV show, That's unheard of then and now. Today, you're lucky if you get a Sprite commercial, maybe a DLC skin in Fortnite or something, but a multimedia entity as a rapper, that's just not happening. And it wasn't happening until Kid and Play kind of opened those doors. And after Kid and Play, and kind of during, you suddenly see rappers, not just A-listers, but like Fredro Starr from the Onyx had like multiple roles, and Sticky Fingers. Both these niggas, the Onyx niggas was actors. Unfortunately, it seems like they weren't fully appreciating like what this new level of exposure and marketing was like. They didn't appreciate the business after their cartoon was unceremoniously canceled and their comic and tour line met the same fate. Instead of rolling with these punches and continue to seek out media success, it sounds like they cut off their nose to spite their face and low-key quit the industry. Like supposedly they had a sitcom in development with NBC that would have had them co-starring with Don Riggles. And like at this same time, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Living Single are becoming huge hits. I'm shocked that they didn't see the value in making the jump to TV. And this is all while their musical career is clearly showing signs of slowing down, or more accurately, being overshadowed. And by 1994, after the bomb that was House Party 3, the writing was on the wall for Kid and Play, and the moment had passed them by. Aside from the fact that, again, that film was unwatchable, a clear step down from the second film, which is also bad, it felt like in a short period of time, just 4 or 5 years, they went from being cool and cutting edge and hip and entertaining to corny and played out. The kids that liked them as 11, 12-year-olds weren't really feeling them as 16 and 17-year-olds.
Yeah, and then also too, like I said, Kid and Play were transitioning. So you know, groups like us we were looking corny. You know, we were just like, you know what I mean? Groups like us and Kwame and even Will and Jeff, like we were. You know what Eminem used to say, you cold product.
And even as they showed efforts to change and keep up, their imagery was so iconic to that previous era that I don't think people allowed them to move from that spot in their minds. Like the weirdest thing to me, even today in 2024, was going from House Party 1 and 2 to House Party 3, where Kid has this Milli Vanilli fade lock thing going on, and being like, oh, why are you doing that? Why do y'all look like this? Why do y'all sound like this? This is all wrong. Go back to the first
Jammy
House.
Jam.
And this is why the aforementioned Herbie the Love Bug saw the writing on the wall and cashed out. He left while they tried to hold on a bit longer, but eventually
Herbie Love Bug was like, nigga, I'm out, nigga. They ain't digging my sound. They ain't digging the movies. I'm out this bitch. Let me cash in my chips. Let me cash in my chips.
Had to face their fate, because even with their industry backing and success that was unmatched for the time, they were dead. But not just dead, they were murdered. They were shot in the head in broad daylight for everyone to see. And the person that pulled the trigger
was Gangsta Rap.
Was Gangsta Rap.
So we have a new phase of clinical trial.
This is bullshit with the ads and shit.
And the delivery of a new.
Give it up to the doggies running.
So astute viewers familiar with this era of hip-hop that I've been talking about have probably noticed that I've been leaving out some major figures that were big in hip-hop at the time, namely NWA, the Ghetto Boys, Ice-T, Kool G Rap, and other gangster rap or much more raw and uncut rap acts at the time that were making waves in the late 80s. And although they didn't have nearly as much corporate interest as Kid and Play, gangster rap still had a huge groundswell of support and a huge presence in hip-hop culture, just as big as anything Kid and Play were doing. Really, it was kind of like an arms race from the late 80s to the early 90s to dictate what the music and the culture of hip-hop should be going forward. This new thing of hip-hop that was really only a little over a decade old wasn't quite sure where it was going. Was hip-hop supposed to be righteous and political, as we saw with Public Enemy and the aforementioned Boogie Down Productions? Or should hip-hop be gritty, as depicted in those early gangster rap figures I just mentioned? Or was hip-hop just here for a good time, like what Kid and Play was doing, along with Will Smith? this was a legit question at the time. And by the 90s, it was becoming clear that the fun stuff that was unoffensive and highly marketable was not going to win. And ironically, a big reason for that was how commercially successful and marketable and big it had gotten in a short period of time. See, one of hip hop's most significant figures to this day is its irreverence. Hip hop is counterculture and on some levels revolutionary. And there's nothing revolutionary about anti-drug commercials and Saturday morning cartoons. It just did not fit with the way people who were of hip hop culture imagined it when they were in the center of it. And for Kid and Play, the center of hip hop was the consumer. And the consumer was white and kind of young. And it didn't help that their actual music wasn't very good. It wasn't even close. In 1992, Kid and Play released their third and last album, Face the Nation, a preachy kind of weird thing that seemed to want to keep up with the growing trend of hip hop being more than party music, but lacked the conviction to get it done effectively. They even made the mistake of dissing 2 Live Crew and Uncle Luke, to which he responded with probably the meanest diss record that I had never heard up until researching for this video, a song called Bitch Ass Kid and Hoe Ass Play.
That's why y'all niggas can't understand us. Y'all fuck niggas talking too much shit. Y'all niggas better watch what you're saying, cause y'all fuck niggas, y'all don't know. Y'all
but that same year in 1992, like, we think of that as early in hip hop, but some classic shit was coming out. We had Gang Starr's Daily Operation, Boogie Down Productions, Sex and Violence. Redman released What the Album. UGK released Too Hard to Swallow, and most significantly, Dr. Dre released The Chronic. Still to this day, one of the best rap albums of all time, in an era where New Jack Swing was still a prominent sound and break beats was still the core of so much of what hip hop was. Nothing sounded like what Dr. Dre had just created in the rap game. In fact, the entirety of music, the music world, stood up and took notice. By comparison, Kid and Play's Face the Nation didn't just seem corny, it seemed like a relic in its own time by comparison. Kid and Play simply didn't keep up with other forms
Hell
of hip hop.
yeah, Gangstar was the shit.
It wasn't just the fact that it was gangster rap, it was that gangster rap, for all its flaws, was art, and Kid and Play really wasn't. And hip hop would only get more artistically ambitious as the decade went on. By 1994, again, the year House Party 3 released, we would get several all-time classics. Nas's Illmatic, Biggie's Ready to Die, Scarface's The Diary, and Outkast's Southern Playalistic Cadillac funky music. Even the conscious alternative rap that was beginning to fade into the background still had good stuff, with Common's Resurrection, Diggable Planet's Blowout Comb, and the Arrested Development's Zinga Al Madouni. All of that was happening while Kid and Play was still kind of doing the same thing they were doing in 1988. The 90s is when hip hop went from a musical and cultural aesthetic and movement to a complex art form, and Kid and Play weren't really artists like that, nor were they complex. But this wasn't some industry plant stuff. It wasn't a scandal or anything complex. Kid and Play just fell off. They came up organically. Everything until their highest point was all them and other people of the culture. But in the end, real hip hop won regardless. The corporate backing stuff that they had actually is probably what got them killed in the first place. But I don't like saying real hip hop won. Not if you really pay attention to what happened to hip hop at this time. Hindsight tells us that great music from the 90s notwithstanding, I think we got the whole aftermath of this kind of fucked up. And again, this is another reason why I don't buy into the industry plant concept then and now. Today, when people say industry plant, they're insinuating that the art being presented is somehow more manufactured and commodified than the art that comes from less successful or visible artists, or artists that are more real and raw and less connected to the industry. And this isn't categorically false, but it presents a false dichotomy that hides the reality of what the music industry is then and now, which is that the entire system at the time and still today is an industry. Specifically at the time where Kid and Play was most active, there were no parts of the industry not controlled by corporate forces. Like if you pointed to, say, Public Enemy or NWA and said that was real hip hop, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Yes, they were better from an artistic standpoint, but those acts were still within the industry, still signed to record labels. There were still the same old white man in control of what hip hop was in the public eye. Like we had it in our head that there was a battle for the soul of hip hop in the future, and that Kid and Play's youth-friendly, sanitized product represented corporate white influence for commercial appeal, and NWA and Rakim was raw, real hip hop, too raw for the radio and only here for the streets. But no, each genre was just viable in a unique way, and the corporations, the industry, were on both sides of the fence, waiting to see who was going to win the race and emerge to be the most viable vessel for them to make money.
Bam. Just like the elites is on both sides of the goddamn war.
NWA was signed to Ruthless Records, who distribute through Sony. Public Enemy was signed to Def Jam, which is also distributed through Sony. Kid and Play had a few labels connected to him, but the parent company was essentially MGM. Everyone was like that at the time. There was only 2 or 3 real major companies at the top of every rap label that you can think of.
Yep, it was only 3. It was Universal, Sony, and Warner Music Group. Easy remembers George Bush singing. How crazy is that? I know.
At the time, there was no Spotify. There was no TikTok. You could be an independent artist, but that meant being broke and selling your music out of your trunk. And I'm not sure.
And that's where the pride come in. Like, man, nigga, I was selling albums out the trunk of my car because the industry didn't want a nigga. So I can sell the shit myself. That's how the South got on.
To disrespect the art form or the history of hip hop when I say that there was no real hip hop ever, I'm just saying that from the moment Run DMC signed that Adidas deal, it all became the culture industry. They were all industry plants. I don't
Nigga, once you sign that deal, you automatically an industry plant.
Think that it's a coincidence, or should it be, in retrospect, surprising that the monstrous image of gangster rap with black men imagining themselves as brutes and super predators proved to be more lucrative and efficient as a product to sell, and thus dominated all of hip hop for the next decade?
Goddamn ads.
And thus dominated all of hip hop for the next decade. These corporations, the industry, recognized that the larger, more lucrative white audiences that listen to rap were more interested in gangster fantasies from NWA than the fun time, positive dance music of Kid and Play. And the fact that the culture endorsed it as real didn't hurt either, which is ironic because if you know anything about NWA, they were probably much more fake than Kid and Play. Like Kid, yes, was a dork who just wandered into rap, but Play was more street than any of the dudes in NWA. The only person in NWA with any real life street credibility was Eazy-E, and at most the rest of the members witnessed maybe some gangster stuff, but none of them lived it. And then they had the nerve to make fun of Kid and Play for being corny while they toured together.
It was like that. It was one time where a cop caught me right after I sold the shotgun and traded it for 3 Snub-Nose 38s and 2 high-powered pellet guns. For those who lived in New York at the time, we had a mayor by the name of Mayor Koch, who had just passed this law that whoever was, because the gun thing was getting out of hand. This thing was whoever was found with a gun was going to get a certain amount of years for every bullet found in the gun and on your person. It'd be a year for every bullet. So I just finished doing this transaction, got some money, got traded the shotgun for these 38 snub noses, yada, yada, yada. And I got all this money on me. And like, excuse the term, an asshole, I decided to hop the train style.
And yet we followed them as they...
Nah, that was plain talking. It was like, nigga, Kid and Play was more gangster than NWA. I never cared about lyrics personally. I was about the beats and bass. That's what's up. That's what's up. That producer style. You are the element of hip hop. That's the element of the DJ. We need that.
Talked about fake lives of crime and drugs that they didn't even know anything about. And Kid and Play were trying to be drug free and positive. We called them corny. And that shit is cringe in retrospect. Oh, that is an L for the culture. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to get into some respectability politics bullshit. Like, I don't think rap has caused any of the problems that black youth have faced for the last 30 years. The same issues that black people are facing then and now. These things were happening in the 70s too, when We were at one of the most violent times in American history, and black folks were listening to soul music and R&B the whole time. So I'm not implying gangster rap ruined a generation by itself, but I do think that the image and culture of hip hop that we promoted was definitely not something that was very naturally us, at least not natural in the way we tend to think it. Because why wasn't Kid and Play natural? They were just as organic a thing as anybody else in that rap equation. I think the reason why we look at them as not truly representative of real hip hop or the black culture experience based on what gangster rap and hip hop has tricked us into thinking for the last 30 years. That is the culture industry at work. It's music and art that shapes the way we perceive and reproduce culture. We now look at rappers as leaders and idols, and maybe that's true in a few cases, but it's definitely not true in most cases. And we can't tell the difference because,
like you said, motherfuckers look at them as high figures and idols. With that idol worshiping, they worshiping Drake, they worshiping Taylor Swift and Beyonce, Jay-Z. Master P had a song about cooking crack up. The ice cream, man.
Never learned how to scrutinize our own culture within this industry. This is what Adorno and Horkheimer were trying to point out with their analysis of the culture industry. They recognize that as creative and amazing the art produced might be, it's still a production. It's still the creation that all this art serves the purpose of being bought and sold. Hip hop in its sentiment had a revolutionary potential and a radical implication, but as soon as the radicals started taking brand deals, the revolution was over. And of course, Kid and Play fit into that description. It's not like
once the motherfuckers started taking brand deals, the revolution was over. Yep, it was organic, but as soon as y'all start signing with the baby hats, it's a wrap.
Any different if hip hop would have became more of what they were than anything else. But I do feel like it would have been less likely to, I don't know, capture the radical imagination of an entire industry. It would have just maybe been a cooler, better vibe for the most part. Because the truth is, everyone is industry plans. There's a reason why Kid.
The truth is, everyone is industry plan. Ghetto dope. Ghetto dope.
Play, Salt and Pepper, Martin Lawrence all became famous from that same crew because they collaborated with each other, because they put each other on as much as they could. And as they became successful, they kept connected to each other and worked with each other across all these areas. The same for NWA when
they kept breaking bread because Kid and Play was backup dancers for Salt and Pepper. And then Kid and Play started doing their own thing, and then Salt and Pepper was using Kid and Play as opening acts.
Cube and Dre splintered off. Cube gets into acting and learns how to make movies, and he learns from John Singleton and F. Gary Gray, and then he makes his own films and guides his own media career. And the next thing you know, he's in a movie with John Witherspoon that we also saw in House Party. The reason why there's so many cool figures and historical black artists and actors and comedians and singers connected to Kid and Play is because it was a small group that had to be connected to each other in order to share resources that they were getting because they had access to that larger Hollywood apparatus because they showed themselves to be valuable to the machine and they were let in the door. And thankfully, some of them kept the door open for others on the way in. But let's be clear, when they went in to the machine, they became a part of it. And we should always remain critical of that, even when they make things we like. We should never get too enthusiastic at the ability of these talented artists to reproduce culture that we think truly, truly reflects the entirety of our being as Black people, because it doesn't, or at least it shouldn't, because if it's coming from that large apparatus, then it's not truly coming from Blackness. We should always be very critical when we're inclined to see one form of art as real and another as fake, because it's all fake, all of it, especially Drake. And then thinking about this, it makes me condescend.
It was like especially Drake. That nigga said especially Drake, you fake motherfucker.
We didn't give Kid and Play their flowers at the time, that we allowed them to kind of be this scapegoat to be the wrong type of hip hop for the era, when I think hip hop might be better off with a little more fun, a little less seriousness. I think some of that soul, rock and roll, R&B aesthetic and dudes wanting to perform and dance and be in costumes and be passionate about their art form and their talent is truly missing from hip hop right now. I think this is why you hear about people not wanting to go to rap shows, because the modern rap superstars right now, a lot of them, not all of them.
Goddamn ass.
But a lot of them don't really love the art of it. They're only there for the culture industry commodity part. And that sucks. And I'm not saying Kid and Play would have fixed that, but I think in an alternate reality where Kid and Play and Will Smith and Chubb Rock and Kwame, Special Ed, and Dougie Fresh, and all these more fun party-based rappers are allowed to continue to be a big part of the culture going forward, I think that's a much better universe to live in. And yes, I do think in that universe, Jada Pinkett gets to marry Tupac.
Sad
And then they get a fucking divorce 2 years later. Fuck they're talking about.
Kid and Play, despite being pushed aside by gangster rap, managed to stay relatively relevant. Like I said, they're a part of this constant touring circuit for old school rappers. So folks like Salt and Pepper, Dougie Fresh, they're always coming to a city near you. If you're in a major city, there's always an old school concert on the way. And they're usually a part of one or two of them. And Kid had a relatively significant acting career, managed to stay busy, popping up on sitcoms as a guest appearance all through the 90s and 2000s. Play went into ministry and became a born-again Christian while also still working in
Play became a born-again Christian. It was like, nigga, like you already changed your life for the better by getting to the music. It was like, yo, man, behind the scenes, I was doing a lot of crazy shit, dog. I need to change my life. I become a born-again Christian. Running to Jesus.
Yeah, behind the scenes. And they always seem to pop up for a podcast appearance too, though I can't vouch for some of the company that they keep sometimes, but that's another conversation. And while a few good hits, 2 pretty good movies, and a lot of memories is a lot less than some of the other legends from this era, that's still a really
kind of like Apollonia. The Small Hatchery with 2 Loud Crew, according to brother. Shit, you damn right, dog. They locked up Luke Skywalker. This is why I respect Luke, because he went to jail for our lyrics, my nigga. He went to jail for our lyrics. So, and he said like all the rappers that was out at the time, only like a handful, maybe like 2 or 3 rappers showed him love. Everybody else said fuck him. Like, fuck that nigga locked up. But Luke remembers you. Luke knows he could come out and start talking if he wanted to. Real shit. But I'm glad Luke only say a little bit here, a little bit there. And he just sit behind the scenes, but like real shit. Luke Skywalker could air out the whole industry if he wanted to. Because I know they was coming to him for some shit.
The amazing legacy for the hottest rap act of the late 80s and early 90s. And if you look at the record, almost all of that came before the industry plant label would be.
Wait, kind of like Apollonia. Vanity. Vanity was like, fuck that church shit. I'm going out with a bang. And that bitch OD'd. And Vanity was hot, man. Nigga, Vanity could get the business. I'll smash Vanity, man. I'll smash Vanity so good. But she's a druggie. So, like, if I'm trying to talk to her and mingle, she like, what a coke at? This is bullshit, Vanity. Why you do that shit? Because I need it. Just said she went to church after Prince. Prince was putting spells on that bitch. It was like, how about you smash me and the revolution? Bitch, you want some grapes? Bitches. Lou said recently that Diddy parties were too freaky for him. And that's crazy. Coming from the nigga that made the freakiest songs in the goddamn world. He said Diddy parties was motherfucking the freakiest parties to ever go to. And what's crazy is it's like Diddy must be a weird dude. Like Diddy was like, you know what? Since I got all this money, I can finally fulfill my fantasy. That's how Diddy is.
Label would be appropriate. The rest was the true essence of hip hop. Just young black people trying to make it. And while the reality is that hip hop was captured then and still is now, and is just as corporate and commodified in its state then as it is now, it doesn't mean that it's not valuable and good. We just have to improve our analysis of it. If you don't take away anything from this video, take away the fact that the goal is to not look at hip hop passively, to be critical of it. And maybe in the future, with the decentralized nature of music these days and some real good conversations and coordination from the culture, maybe we can reach the potential hip hop had way back in the 80s before it got corporatized and commodified. I think it's still possible. Speaking of both reaching full potential, but also being corporately sponsored, let's talk about today's sponsor, Nebula.
Let's talk about ending the show. What up, though? Because that's the end of that chapter. Talking about industry plants. Was Kid and Play an industry plant? But by the end of the video, you find out everybody's an industry plant once you sign that motherfucking brand deal. Once you shine on that dotted line, Shannon, your ass is the baby hatch. Your ass belong to the baby hats. Nigga, real shit, man. Hip hop, higher, infinite power, healing our people. That's what hip hop means. According to all the hip hop heads, according to all the hip hop Bibles, you know what I'm saying? This is all in the book of hip hop. You know, and me personally, I think Kid and Play was a nice key figure of the time. You know, with the trend, with the dancing. You I would listen to them over Drake any day. Even the guy that was talking about this motherfucking shit don't even like Drake. So like we got something in common. I hate Drizzy. This nigga called himself Drizzy Chippendale. Nigga, fuck the bullshit, bro. You can't take a nigga seriously that called himself Drizzy Chippendale. Drizzy Chippendale, heard he painted fingernails, hanging with some man Chippendale, Zippendale. What type of nigga said he don't want a Chippendale? Throw that bitch nigga anywhere. Anywhere. Tell her wishing well. Man, no, like really Drizzy Chippendale, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is Detroit After Dark. Detroit After Dark. Detroit After Dark. Oh yeah, it's after dark. Oh yeah, it's after dark. Let's go. Detroit After Dark. Detroit After Dark. Oh yeah, it's after dark. Oh yeah. Shouts out to everybody for coming through. Shouts out to In the Groove Music. Shouts out to Low Key T. Shouts out. Who else was here? Shouts out to the Trail. Shouts out to Look Within. Shouts out to Leonardo Yuta. Shouts out. You know, you're in the building. I covered some news and we talked about Kanye. I think that Kanye shit is weird as fuck. Kanye about to start a porn industry. Like, this shit don't make no sense. And he motherfucker said he just got over a motherfucking porn addiction. So why the fuck you get into the industry? It's like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, are you... Don't he got a new chick that he with? I guess he want to get into the industry just to throw his girl in the industry so she can get smashed. I think Kanye is a secret cuck on the low. Who knows, man? Shit is fucked up out here in the industry, dog. Nigga, all these niggas is weird and Hollyweird. Welcome to motherfucker Hollyweird. But shouts out to everybody for coming through. This is Detroit After Dark. Oh yeah, it's after dark. Only thing open up after 12 is a club and some legs, and it's 2 o'clock. I think the club just closed. The club had closed for about 20 minutes. The stove just closed because we got the 2 o'clock stoves too. We got them 2 o'clock stoves. So now everybody must be in the house getting a smoke and drink on. I'm about to get my last smoke on. Roll these last 2 blunts. I don't know if I'm gonna smoke both, but I might smoke one and smoke one in the morning. But who knows? No, fuck that. I'm smoking both of these bitches. Cause I was smoking like fucking like 2 of these bitches in the middle of the live. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the motherfucking industry plants and the hip hop shit because you know, like I'm a hip hop head, and plus, Kid and Play is part of our childhood. Real shit. Kid and Play was part of our childhood. Everybody knew Kid and Play. But shout out to everybody for coming through. I catch y'all on the next one. What I got coming up, shit. I got a Fuck the Government podcast, and I'm still working on some music. I'm still, working on some sounds. And I'll be back with something for you. Pause, go did it. And I catch y'all in a minute. Peace. Salute.